Hey, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are. This is the Roaming Prepper, and thank you once again for joining me on one of my escapades of whatever the hell I'm doing. As you can see, I'm in my wife's bougie little car, and hers is super bougie. It has like everything. I told her yours will be the first one that goes out when the EMP hits, and she goes, maybe, maybe not, but I'll shut down in style. I'm like, okay, well, that's fair. This is also the woman who Cerakoted her SIG Louis Vuitton. And then the next pistol she got, she camouflaged it like the Hunger Games, like some very dark gothic shit. And I'm like, you girl, you're all over the map. Like, I don't. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, want to talk about little skills that can help us, not just in the apocalypse, but day to day. Specifically today, the reason I'm in the park with the bougie car is she has a hatchback on the vehicle, and today was drone day. So I finally carved out a couple hours of time, charged up the drone, refreshed myself in the backyard how to turn it on and sync it and all that shit, and then took it to the field. And I got outside a baseball park. The county park has like baseball diamonds with big parking lots, and it rained so bad the last 2 days out here, nobody's playing baseball today. So I had the place all to myself, nice big open flat area, and got to do a little bit of scouting around with the drone, kind of see how it handles, because we have some gusts of wind. Little skills like that, being a mechanic, knowing how to weld, little skills on the side of normal skills can come in very handy in an emergency, right? For example, let's just say other than an EMP or a nuke, in which case we'd have a whole different set of problems. Let's just say we had a major hack, or we got involved in World War III, cyber attacks, all this shit. I can still pilot the drone without Wi-Fi using the base controller, and I can scout locations and get a feel for terrain, geography, whatnot, which is very valuable information in an emergency. Even during a hurricane, say in normal shit, cops had to go in water up to their waist to try and check vehicles that had been submerged. Well, I could go and say, hey, look, I got a drone. Let me do a flyby and see if we see anything of interest. And then the cop doesn't have to risk his life. I don't have to go in the water to help a civilian or a neighbor. And I learned something about what's in each of these vehicles. In an emergency like that, having a drone would be valuable. If you're a welder, would be valuable, right? Imagine that, being a welder and actually having a functioning welding machine in your preps, right? Neighbors like, oh, I need to reinforce my gate to keep my livestock in. Guess what? I can do that. Let's talk about a box of 30-06 and I'll weld your gate, or whatever the hell you come up with. But you get what I'm saying. All these little skills that all of us take for granted for prepping can also be trade items, skills for trade, but also side hustles. If you're a welder on the side, on the weekends, you're like, oh, hey, I'm a welder, part-time welder, schedule 2 hours on a Saturday, fix someone's gate, $200, $500, whatever it is. Oh, I'm a licensed drone operator. And by the way, to get paid legally, you need an FAA license. Just heads up. Does that mean you can't do things on the side? No, you can't. But for me, if I'm going to do it, which I plan to, I want to do it with companies like the big boys, where I can say, oh, hey, I don't know, Exxon or Ford or whatever. You need a drone to do surveillance in this area so you can, do construction. I'll do the video for you. $500, $1,000. You get into the companies, you can get the big dollars. But even for real estate agents, pay me $100, I'll do a flyover of your house so you can use it on the real estate listing. There's always, if you're a photographer, the Angry Prepper's a photographer on the side. Who knew? This big guy who likes all his opinions and all his cursing and all his humor, and he's actually a damn good photographer. Hey, that's money on the side. Anything we can do to put plus and not minus in our bank accounts, in our lives, is a good thing. And in an emergency, that same photographer And I mean, it's the angry prepper, so he has all mad skills of all types. But in an emergency, that's a reconnaissance skill, right? You got a telephoto lens. You could go up on a hilltop, start taking pictures of what you see, bring the pictures back, and with your mag, start analyzing the photos and say, okay, what are we looking at here? What is this, a threat? Is this a resource? Could this be a new ally? Same with the drones. There's so many little skills. If you're a seamstress, if you're into well, haberdashery, which is basically male steam stir. I don't know what the hell that means. Fixing clothes, cooking, proper food handling. Hell, if you know how to make wine and beer that doesn't kill someone, that's huge. These are all little side hustles that you can use, not just in an emergency, but day to day. I mean, think about it. If there was an apocalypse of some type, or we had just ran into really, really, really bad times like the Great Depression did, and I know how to make distilled alcohol, not for drinking, but for sanitizing, for wounds, for other uses, even fuel, like moonshine, that can be a very valuable skill. If I know how to make wine, wine has certain organic properties that can create health benefits, assuming you don't drink 2 bottles of wine in one sitting. That has no health benefits other than throwing up and getting the runs. But you get what I'm saying. All these little skills actually can come in handy at another point. But today, you can use that same skill as a side hustle. Oh, I'll sell my wine on the side. I'll use my drone and help the real estate agents make a couple of $100 a weekend. What could you do with an extra $200 today? And hence why I'm out here practicing the skills, trying to understand how the graphics works. I'm probably going to need 2 or 3 drones. But that's a little bit of money, so I have to pace it out and budget like anything else in prepping. But don't take for granted the things you know how to do today could be very useful in an emergency, or could be a useful side hustle on the weekends. You guys be good. I just wanted to keep an open mind on this stuff. Hey, like I said, anything you can do to put dollars or value into the plus column of life is a good thing. You guys be safe. God bless. Quick one today. I'll see y'all later. And yes, for those of you who are about to ask, I chased all the ground squirrels around the field with the fucking drone, and it was hilarious. Unfortunately, they were so damn fast, by the time I was close enough to take pictures of their little camouflage butts, they were gone. But they were not fans of mine, because the minute I landed the drone, they all came out, and I could hear them all chittering at me. So clearly they thought I was an asshole. But yes, it was very fun chasing the ground squirrels. I'll try not to give them a heart attack next time, and maybe actually get a picture of the little critters, which would be very cool. Anyway, you guys be safe out there. Bye.